I love the title of this book. And honestly, I was walking around my house being silly. I know my children sometimes are like, because I was like, Lord, is it okay? Because it feels really good. And forgiveness is all about letting it go. You just let go of the offense. That's what, you know. What is up, my survivor thrivers? It's me, authentically Regina P, back filming another video for you guys. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're in good health, and I hope that you can hear me because I don't have my earbuds connected because I got a new phone and I just didn't feel like going and pairing them and finding them because I know where they are, but I just didn't feel like doing all that. So I hope that with the upgrade that I just did on my phone, that the volume will come through. My other phone was a iPhone 11, and if I didn't have my earbuds hooked up, the volume just didn't come through very clear. And I know that with the technologies that these phones have, you're supposed to be able to hear me. Like, that's the whole point that we pay what we pay for these phones, because of the camera and the video quality. So with that being said, let's hop right into the video. I know that, let's see, my last video that I uploaded, let me see, that would have been on Monday, and that would have been Friday's video. And I believe on Friday I was telling you guys that I was going to a baby shower, that I was going to be around some flying monkeys is the mark term, but we'll just say in general, toxic people, and that I was just mentally preparing myself with a plan of action of what I was going to do had those toxic people, you know, become toxic or become negative. And I started to feel unsafe or uncomfortable, which my action plan was going to be to just leave. It wasn't going to, you know, make a big fuss about anything. I wasn't going to, you know, go up to my sister and say, oh, she's doing this and doing this, I'm leaving. I was just going to say, hey, I got some things that I have to do. I cannot stay until 7, so I'm going to go ahead and head out. But the baby shower has been beautiful, and I hope you enjoy your gift. That was just going to be that, you know, because one thing I've learned is, you know, all of us to a degree have our selfish ways, but people that really struggle with narcissism, they're energy suckers. Like, they want your energy. And when you don't give it to them, child, you will see that personality just flip, and they will flip the script on you. So, but you know, for me, it went well. Everything went well. I had a great time at my sister's shower, celebrated her. She looked so beautiful. Her friends were awesome. The food was awesome. The games were fun. We actually did a game where you take the tissue and you try to see if you can guess the size of the belly. And we have a picture of her doing that to me, like so many, almost 16 years ago, because my son's 16. So I guess it technically would have been 17 years ago. You know, so it was just like, oh my God, it's crazy to see how times move on and how time just, wow. But yeah, so excuse me, so that part was really, really fun. And again, there were toxic people there. Didn't, you know, really engage that much. You know, I attempted to, but then once I saw that they were being, you know, they were just being however they were being, I just chose to keep myself to myself, be at the table that I was at, you know, still be kind, still have fun, still engage, but just not pay it, you know, pay it dust. It's like, whatever, you know, I don't have time for that. That's how you want to be? Fine. You don't have to like me. So anyway, I also wanted to follow up with you guys about the 2 workbooks. Well, I picked 3 workbooks off of Amazon. So far, I've been working through these 2. So this one is Retrain Your Brain, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy in 7 weeks. And as you can see, it's pretty long. And this one is Let That Shit Go. And I actually have been enjoying this one. I've been doing this one for the past 3 days, and I started this one over the weekend on Sunday, because it's not like the last book that we did, because the last book only had like 2 or 3 introductory pages. This one has 2 chapters of introductory pages, and then you get into the workbook. And I understand why he did that, and I just want to say that he suggests that if you are suffering from severe depression or anxiety, this book alone is not going to help you. And I love that he said that, because he could just try to promote this thing and be like, yes, in 7 weeks. But he says, no, if you are struggling from severe depression or anxiety, this alone is not going to help you. He has tests in here for you to answer honestly, and how they measure them in psychology to let you know if you're, non-existent, mild, moderate, severe, and on. And for me, I leveled out at moderate, so I feel like I can really benefit from this book. It's very informative. He explains what cognitive behavior is, and it's really about when it says reframing, it's your feelings, your thoughts, and your behaviors, and understanding that your feelings produce thoughts, which produce behaviors, or behaviors are produced from feelings, are produced from thoughts. So I will try to find that diagram. Here it is. So you see the diagram here? And it makes total sense to me, because as I was doing the reading part and understanding exactly what cognitive behavioral therapy is, I was like, okay, that makes sense, because for me, it will start with a feeling, and then I will think something, and then I will act according to whatever thought that I had, if that makes sense. And in this, he talks about one of his therapy clients who had the severe fear of bridges, and it was because he had a bad experience on a bridge. So instead of talking about that bad experience and taking him back to that situation, this type of therapy keeps you present and says, okay, when you see a bridge, what do you feel? Well, I think I feel afraid, I feel fear, and I feel a little discouraged. Well, what are the behaviors that feeling does? Well, I avoid bridges at all costs. I don't cross them. If I go to them and I'm even trying to tell myself, like, just be brave, just do it, I turn around and I don't do it. I can't do it. So then the thought behind that is bridges are not safe. Something bad is going to happen to me if I cross this bridge, and I'm a coward because I couldn't face my fear and cross this bridge. So kind of metaphorical too, if you really think about it, but I really enjoyed it. He talks about the principles of CBT, and definitely look it up and do your own research as well. Yeah, so he talks about all that. And then he goes, and the next chapter is understanding anxiety and depression. And these 2 chapters really, really helped me, because I didn't know. Here's another diagram of the example of how they would work on CBT. So I wasn't aware that there were so many forms of depression and anxiety. I didn't realize there's specific phobia, there's social anxiety. You see right here, I was like, yes, that's me. It says also with phobia, with the social anxiety, I'll just read it, but it says also with phobias, we usually know if the thing we're afraid of happened. For example, we know if we fell from a great height, or if the elevator got stuck. Social anxiety disorder, on the other hand, involves guesses about what others are thinking. Do they think I sound stupid? Am I making him feel awkward? Are they bored? Even when people say nice things to us, great job on your talk today, we might not believe them. We might be left believing that our performance was terrible, even though nothing clearly bad happened. Yes, That's me. And from, you know, the research and things that we did in the last book, we understand that that's something that those of us that suffered from narcissistic abuse, well, from any type of abuse, but specifically that, you're going to have those doubtful thoughts because you were always trying to guess what your parent was feeling and what they were thinking, and you were always trying to, you know, make them happy as a child. You know, that unhealthy balance. So there's that. There was panic disorder. There is agoraphobia, generalized anxiety. I guess something, what did he say right there? For general anxiety disorder. The anxiety is spread over multiple areas, thus generalized, and is experienced as a grinding dread about all kinds of what ifs. As soon as one worry is resolved, another takes its place. Again, associated with, you know, experiences from our childhood. Then he has you go through and do the anxiety checklist. And that is what, the one reason that I picked this book is because I know that certain things and behaviors that I have, got its root in childhood. And so now that, you know, I'm 38, I'm a mother of 4, wife, it's just time to unlearn some things. It's time to unlearn some things, and this is a really great resource. So yeah, he has you go through and check different boxes in the category if they meet, if you struggle with them. Here, and here's mine. And so mine was agoraphobia, social anxiety disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder. But all of those in moderate doses. So some of the check boxes, I was like, yeah, sometimes, like if I need to go to Walmart to get something, for example, for the agoraphobia one, the reason that I check some boxes in that is if I'm thinking about Walmart, it really just depends on the day and what space I'm in. I can be like, oh, all those people, no, I'm not going to Walmart. But I won't absolutely avoid leaving my house and going to the store if I need to. I mean, I have to. I got 4 kids. I can't be like, I'm not going anywhere now. You know, I can't do that. So, and then he starts to talk about depression. Let me hurry up with this part because the video is getting long. So then he talks about the different types of depression. How y'all like my spot? I'm sitting in a new spot. Even though I got 1 subscriber. What's up, CD? I haven't seen your comments in a while. I hope you're well and I hope you're in good health. And thank you so much for your support. You are the main reason that I have not given up on this journey. So thank you. My heart is with you. I wish you well. So let's see. General types of depression. There's major depressive disorder. There's persistent depressive disorder. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I struggle from that one. And the crazy thing about that is with my last baby, due to complications, I had to have a partial hysterectomy. To TMI, I know, TMI. But with the partial hysterectomy, you no longer have a menstrual cycle, but you still have the symptoms. So I have to, there are times when I'm like, oh, what's wrong? And then I'm like, why am I bloated? And then I'm like, oh, okay, all right, it's that. Why am I irritable? I'm so silly. So yeah, that one for sure. Specifiers for depressive disorder. It says single episode versus recurring episode, mild, moderate to severe. Then he explains that. And then he talks about, you know, depression with anxious distress and melancholy. I actually never had heard of the melancholy features, but that's me. Even when we're depressed, we often feel temporarily better when something good happens, like if we finish an important project or spend time with loved ones. During severe depression, there can be a complete loss of pleasure in everything, even a person's favorite activities. A person with this kind of depression may have melancholic features, which also include a worse mood in the morning, waking up in the morning at least 2 hours early, and consistent loss of appetite. And I believe the day I was working on that, I was like, yeah, I was in a bad mood this morning. I was having depression with melancholic feelings. I can't even say the word. And so then it talks about other type of features, which is atypical, peripartum, which is before giving birth, and I believe seasonal. And we're all, I think, going through the seasonal just because allergies. So many people are like, allergies, allergies. Then he has us do a depression scale, and here's mine. So I scored about a 10, so that's 10 to 14 is moderate. So I love it. He says depression can make it hard to focus on simple tasks, let alone taking on a workbook. If you're suffering from anything beyond mild to moderate depression, seek the services of a professional in addition to using this book. So that's awesome. And then he has you do like a chapter check-in. I didn't write here because it's not enough space. I just been using my journal. So now I'm into part 2. I'm actually on day 4, which was fun. Because day 4, he talks about meaning and purpose, faith, meaning, purpose. And you know, I'm all for talking about faith, talking about my faith. So he asked what brought me, what brought you in? And basically what compelled me to pick up the book was the title and the ratings on Amazon. I've been dealing with the same issues on and off, I want to say my entire life, to be honest. How often do they come up? Weekly. Why now? What made you decide that it was time to take action? I really was inspired because of my YouTube channel, and I liked doing the last workbook that we did, and so I just wanted to keep that going because it's fun and it keeps me motivated to actually finish the work. And then he has you talk about your strengths, and he says that we all, whatever we might be struggling with, we are more than our struggles. Take a moment to list your own strengths. What are you good at? What did I put? That, now I'm struggling. I'm in 16 minutes. I'm trying to finish. Let's see. My strengths. Where is it? Oh, I like researching, running, comforting, encouraging others, my sense of humor, having endurance, determination, being a mother. I'm good at being a friend. I'm good at being a wife. I'm good at giving compliments. I feel like that's one of my talents. I enjoy it. And then it asks, like, what do the people who know you best appreciate about you? And I would say my faith, my sense of humor, my encouragement, making others feel comfortable. I'm kind, I'm very relatable. So I put that. And then the next is taking stock. And I'll just breeze through these. But he asks you, like, what's your family life like? Like, are there any family stresses that are happening right now? Who's the source of it? Are there any losses in your family, whether through death or just the relationship change? Yes, there's stresses. I have a teenager, so I have 4 kids, so yeah. And then the next one was talking about friendship. And do you have friends? Do you have, what does he say? Do you have a strong group of friends? Yes. Do you get to spend as much time with them as you like? Yes. And then he talks about the basic human needs. And I never heard that before. I never knew, So that was really good. Autonomy, relatedness, and competence. The autonomy is the ability to decide for ourselves what we do without being overly controlled by others. Relatedness, meaningful and satisfying connections to other people. And competence, feeling like we're good at what we do and able to put our talents to use. Didn't know that. Day 3 was education and career. And I love that he says whether your job is outside the home or your primary job is taking care of your children, because sometimes us stay-at-home moms, we get left out. This is a job that's 24/7, 365 days a year. Only time we get a break is when we tell them, go with your daddy. Go, I need some time. So he just asked, do you like your work? Do you find it meaningful? Do you enjoy your co-workers? Yes to all of those. There are times when I feel bored or overtaxed. And then day 4, which was today, was faith, meaning, and expansion. Faith, meaning, expansion. So At times we may struggle to find a sense of identity and purpose. Maybe we've left the religion of our youth or suffered a major disappointment that caused him to question so much that we held sacred. So the work he had that I did today, take some time to consider your own deepest source of meaning and purpose. What moves you? What are your passions? Do you experience enough beauty in your life? Do you have a clear sense of connection to what's most important to you? And I'll read this one since I'm at day 4 and we're at 19 minutes, and I don't want this to go over like 25 minutes or so. What is that saying? Like the brain can only sustain what the seat can endure, or something like that. Okay, so I'm just going to answer all of them. He says, what gives you a sense of purpose? My faith in Jesus, being more like him. Because man, he's so dope. There's certain things that I'm like, I want to be like that. Like when he's before Pilate. If you don't know that, look that up. And Pilate marveled at him because he was like, they're accusing you and you're not going to say anything. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And Jesus just looked at him. Like, and I love that, you know, probably because as survivor thrivers, we know what it's like to feel accused. And whenever you feel accused, your natural reaction is to try to plead your case or try to get people to understand your side. And he didn't need to do that. And so anyway, that's just a side note, but that's one story in the Bible that I absolutely love and strive to be. I don't have to prove my case. I don't have to plead my case. I know who I am. I know what I said. I know where I'm going and where I came from, you know. Sorry. Okay, number 2. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not. Number 2, what moves you? My faith, my husband, my children, and others. You know, and what I mean by that is my faith moves me to act in certain ways, to do certain things. And then my family, they move me to they keep me moving towards the best version of myself so I can be the best wife, mother, and friend. And then others, you know, I don't like to see people being picked on or bullied or injustice. I don't like any of that. Number 3 says, what are your passions? My faith, learning and growing, and then applying those things to my life. Like I enjoy, if there's something that I'm struggling with, I will go to my Bible app, find a plan about it, try to learn about it, try to use scripture about it and grow. Whether it's anxiety, feeling like I'm being unforgiving, you know, there's Bible plans that I've done about being a mom. Dear Lord, help me not ruin my kids. That was one that I did, and then one about disciplining teenagers. Number 4, do you experience enough beauty in your life? Yes, I do. I do. I saw a beautiful horizon yesterday and then a flock of a type of gulls. And it was like 10 to 20, maybe more. I don't look like it, but I am a bird watcher. I'm not a serious bird watcher, but I do enjoy birds. I do have an app on my phone where I can identify different birds. And yeah, it all started, I want to say maybe 2 years ago when there's a certain road that I go down when I'm feeling a type of way. And I was looking out over the bridge. I decided to stop and I saw a blue heron fly off. And I had never seen a blue heron. And I was like, it felt like just a moment with God where he was just like, oh, blue heron, take off for her. So yes, I do see beauty and experience beauty. Do you have a clear sense of connection to what's most important to you? Was number 5, and I just said yes, I do. I do. So that is this. And definitely leave a comment below if there is one of these 2 books that you may like more than the other. So then I paused there because I'm like, I only got 1 subscriber, but one day I may grow, and then, I mean, who knows, one day somebody might come upon this and be like, oh, and just, even if no matter when you watch this video, always leave a comment. You know, feedback is really important. So yeah, let that go. I picked this one, A Journal for Learning, A Journal for Leaving Your Bullshit Behind and Creating a Happy Life. And I picked this one because I like the title. It had rave reviews on Amazon. And sometimes when people cuss around me, they be like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, why are you saying sorry? Because I don't cuss very much. And that was just a personal thing. I used to cuss all the time. And then I had a child. And then he was a little parrot. And then I was like, I need to work on not cussing so much. But I don't look at cussing as good or bad. It's definitely not a sin. So yeah, that's why I picked this one, because I don't know. Who said a cuss word is cuss word? Look up that documentary on Netflix about the origin of curse words, the history of it, and just know that if you've set that up as a commandment in your life and you feel bad if you slip up and say something like the F-bomb or something, do not beat yourself up, okay? Just don't do it. So getting into this book, I really have enjoyed it. We're at 25 minutes, so let me go really fast. It says, oh, hello, welcome to your true self. This person is delightful as fuck because he or she doesn't give a crap about the bullshit, believes good energy begets more good energy, and imagines a place where a dash of silliness, a dose of heart, and a heavy sprinkling of profanity are as healthy as a lifestyle recipe as any. Forget about harboring grudges, keeping scores, and feeling the annoying weight of everyone else's garbage. Instead, take a detour around that destructive route of reckoning and navigate your way to a scenic little street of serenity. And it says, on the pages of this journal, you'll find opportunities to tip your hat and say, I do. I think that's how you say it. I do, motherfucker. I do, motherfucker. To the negative things in your life and welcome in the positive reflections and happy moments that await you. Get all up in your emotive self with a shit ton of cheerful, irreverent activities, whether in order or by hopping around, and relish the gentle catharsis of not giving a fuck. Enjoy these reflections and give your soul a nice fucking boost. She likes saying the F word. Okay, so the first day was off to the races, straight out the gate. Write down the things that make you feel like crap. Use pencil or a light colored writing utensil. This was really fun. Even if you don't cop this book, you can still do these exercises on paper. So as you can see, I chose to write in pencil. And I just wrote, feeling guilty, feeling judged, people's bad attitudes. And then she says, now with bright colored pencils, sparkly gel pens or bold markers, write over those shitty things with the things that make you feel super thrilled. Take a few minutes to focus on those bright colors and bold positive words. Don't pretend that bad ones aren't there, but let yourself bring the good ones front and center. And I love that. Like, we're not going to act like the bad stuff isn't there, but let's focus a little bit less on the gray area and more of the things that are in bright, bold colors. Nature, feeling loved and accepted by God, birds, shopping, good food, hugging my kids, seeing my kids getting off the bus, singing, kissing my babies, watching funny videos, yoga, running. Yes, I was like, I like this. So the next one is caca, motherfucker. There are things in this world that feel overwhelming, that engulf us with emotion, and that burn us out. Well, rise up from those ashes, my friend. Think of 3 ways you can be a magical bird of metamorphosis and fly like the beautiful fucking phoenix that you are. Yes, and I just told you I love birds. So 3 things. Reminding myself to let that go. Let that shit go. Just let that shit go. I love the title of this book, and honestly, I was walking around my house being silly. I know my children sometimes are like, because I was like, Lord, is it okay? Because it feels really good. And forgiveness is all about letting it go. You just let go of the offense. That's what, one of the definitions of forgiveness. You let it go. You just let that shit go. And so all day, since I've been doing this book, when things pop into my mind, you know how you might think about a situation or you're watching a show and you're like, I remember when somebody did that to me. I just like, let that shit go. Let that shit go. Somebody, also a group of kids was driving crazy. And at first I was like, why are you driving so stupid? And then I was like, just let that shit go. Let that shit go. They kids, they stupid. Okay. Then today, as you can see, September 30th, it says, look where you're going, not where you've been. And it says her mom, the most influential mantra of my adult life was invented because I bumped into a lot of shit as a child. Me too. Me too. I still bump into stuff. And metaphorically and physically. Stop dwelling on the past. If you keep staring back at it, you'll miss all the amazing things in front of you or slam the fuck into them. What are things you want to see on the road ahead? My children's growth, me being in control of my feelings and thoughts, my son graduating high school, Harper singing in the choir at school, Ava being able to read, Gracie's first day of kindergarten, and her upcoming birthday, October 15th. Harper's birthday, Josiah's birthday, they're both in November. My birthday, decorating the house for the holidays, running more outdoor races, my first 10K race. I'm looking forward to that. And over the weekend on the 25th, the same day as my sister's graduation, I ran my second ever 5K race. I'm a 5K'er. So I do run daily. I run on a treadmill and I run outside, but I've only done like one race. They're expensive. And yeah, this one wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $40 something. You got a t-shirt. And the first ever one that I did was the color run, and it was really, really fun. But anyway, so those are the two books that I've been working on right now. I didn't want to start the third one just because I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. And these actually go really, really well together. I bet you if I included the other one in there, all three of them would go good together, because the other one is exercises about loving and accepting yourself. So I think that this one probably would go right good in there. Like the order that I got them in, bow, that one in the middle, and then this one was at the back. It's like, but they really go good together. I'm enjoying this process and this journey. I'm enjoying, you know, working at being the best version of myself. And one thing that I will say is that I always pray and ask God for help. I'm like, help me with my thoughts. Help me with my feelings, and not letting my feelings and my emotions get the best of me. And one thing that I love about God is not only does he give us guidance in his word, but he gives us guidance from other individuals who have done work to help us. And I just really, really love that. And I love the fact I just see so much just great things. And these are things that are not just for myself. It's for, you know, my children. It's for anybody that gets encouraged or inspired by watching my videos. It's from, you know, my people that I encounter in my everyday life. When I'm a better version of myself, I can then make others better as well. You know, why am I doing a YouTube channel? I'm all about sharing. I'm all about sharing. Like, I'll share my faith, share my, you know, my story for his glory. You know, I just like to share because I want us all just to get there. And I want people to experience joy in their life. And I want people to know you don't have to remain the same. That rhymed, didn't it? A little bit. You don't have to remain the same. If there's anything about yourself that you don't like, you have the ability in the palm of your hands, literally, to fix it. Literally. Just take that step of faith. Just do that work. Just do the work. I know it may be grueling in the beginning, but once you start practicing something, I'm a witness to it. Once you start practicing something, eventually, over time, you get better and better and better at it. So those are my words to you. This video has been 33 minutes, so I did go over a little bit, but I had a lot to cover. I will try, no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say I'll try to do more like videos to go along with the days that I'm doing it, but that would be a lot to put out unless I can, you know, keep it to like 10 minutes or something like that. Just a real quick, hey, this was today, you know, this was today's work, say it and then go. But if it's something where I'm sharing like multiple days, I probably won't have as many videos. They'll be more like this, you know, longer, but farther in between, because today is Thursday. So I'm going to try to get this uploaded and posted today, if not definitely Friday. But I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for following this channel. Thank you for liking it. If you enjoyed this video, you know, definitely hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, if you're not, and definitely leave a comment. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your love and support, and I will see you in my next video. And I don't want to forget to tell you, you matter. I love you.